So the next advantage I'm going to get in the scripted versus declarative is when I'm using conditions in my pipeline, okay? Like for example, if I want a particular step to run only when a particular condition met, okay? I can achieve both of them in the both scripted and declarative, but how it is going to handle that, it is going to be a bit different scenario, okay? So first, let me start with the scripted. In the scripted, you are going to achieve it using a if condition. So let's say the test stage, I want it to run only when an environment variable is having a particular value. So let's do that. If env dot double equal to this variable is not there, I'm sure. Okay, because I'm not defined anything. I think this should work. Let me try. So if I'm saying in the environment, there should be a variable called training, which should have a value called Jenkins, then only this step needs to be executed. Let me save this. Let me run the scripted. So let me run the job. Okay, it is executed. But the problem here is it never telling me that there is a stage called build. I have skipped it because of a condition, right? So even in the normal scenario, if I build now, so it is never going to say whether there is a existing stage. So if I go to this particular build, okay. So it is never going to say there is a build, I have skipped it, right? That's what you see here. But if you want to achieve it in the declarative, it can be done. So there in declarative, you will write it with a when condition, if is not available in the declarative. So I can say when environment is, let's say, training is Jenkins. So this is how you will define when condition in declarative. When environment name is training and value is Jenkins, then only this will get executed. If I save this, if I run the declarative, you can see it is saying there was a stage called test, but it was skipped. So this is the difference between conditions. This is how scripted and declarative are going to handle the condition. So it is handled better in the display. You will see that, okay, that there was an existing step, but it was skipped due to a condition. You'll be able to see that. The next option we will see here is called, how do I define parameters in the pipeline? Okay. So if I want to define a parameter in the pipeline, because if you see the pipeline job, the parameter option is given here, right? But it is given here. Not this one, sorry. In the pipeline. So the parameter option is given here. This project is parameterized. But I don't, the basic intention of pipeline is I don't want to come inside the Jenkins and do things, right? So define a parameter. I don't need to log in. I can define the parameters in the script itself. Let's see that first. So first, let's create a new pipeline job. Let me call it as a parameter. Pipeline. Click OK. Here, let me directly write the script here. So, pipeline any status. Okay, and let me create a stage called setup and parameter setting is again once a scripted option. There is no direct declarative option available. So I'm going to get it from the script only. The option is steps script properties and parameters properties parameters. And first, let me start with a string parameter. String called the parameter as string. Okay. Name of the parameter is string. And let me close this string. Let me close the square bracket string. And then string is closed, parameter is closed, property is closed. I need to close my script. Script steps. String is closed, parameter is closed, property is closed, script is closed, steps is closed, this is also closed. And after this, add one more stage. I'm missing something. The stage is closed. The stage is closed. Okay, fine. Stage is closed. Let me write one more stage. Print parameter steps go is dollar. I think I have one thing extra. This is something extra. Let me just save it and run it so that I can be sure. There now. I'm having some syntax issue. Yeah, I think it ran successfully. So when I ran the first time, it never had the build with parameter. Now once I run it again, so this is having the build with parameter, I can pass some value and it should print me that value. Let's see. Yeah, this is printing it successfully. So there is no syntax issue. So let me share it with you. So the first time when you run, it will fail because until unless it executes the pipeline, it will never know that, okay, there is a string parameter for it. So it will never know there is a string parameter for it. So this will run. So the first time it will fail because it doesn't know there is a string parameter. And if you go back to the job, you can see it is having things in there. But in a string parameter, we used to give a default value, right? Let's see, how do I provide the default value next? As of now, we don't have a default value set it. Okay. So let us see how to provide a default value. The option will be value. Give a value called training. So save this. So if I run it for the first time, it will not provide me any default value. I need to run it once so that we can update that. We'll wait until it is completing. Now, if I build it with parameter, I can see it is showing the default value. So whenever you are making these kind of parameters or schedule things in the job, you need to run the jobs once so that the pipeline will be executed and those things will be added. Because these are not part of the pipeline option. So the next option, you'll see, how do I provide a choice parameter in the pipeline? So till now we have seen a string parameter. Let's provide a choice parameter. So, sorry, this one. Choice. Let us CHOIC choice. And CHOIC, yes, choices. You can give multiple input. Right, let's say call dev mod parameter is I can also provide a description. And we can keep this way, okay? And need to close the choice and I have to put a comma. Please note the comma. Okay. So this comma represents whether I need a closure here or not. Like, is there any? So when you have multiple inputs for a value, like for example, for parameters, you have multiple inputs, you need to separate them with the comma. Previously, I haven't used the comma because there is no value ahead. So to tell that, okay, there is one more value coming up, I'm using the comma. And the next is, let me do a echo. Choice is environment. Environment is the name of the parameter. So save this. And first time if I run, it is going to fail because I don't have a value for the environment, the variable called environment. So it will fail. It will fail saying there is no value for the environment. I'm trying to print it. Okay. But if I run it again, you can see now it is giving a value. This time the job should be successful.